Mistakes come from a variety of factors. Fundamentally, they form who we are and what makes us human.
But saying these two have made the mistakes would be quite the understatement. But through hard work and dedication, they're sure to find a path for redemption.
Shöya Ishida, the bully who learned how to live from a silent voice.
And dear Evan Hansen, the outsider who learned how to make a sound from dear Evan Hansen.
For this match, we will be looking at all media tied for both. For Shöya, this will be the manga and film adaptations, and for Evan, this would include the musical, novel, and film as well.
He's Maximine Fucko. And let's find out which mistake will be corrected by the end of this not-a-multiverse match.
So, stop me if you've heard this one before, but what does it truly mean to change? To legitimately prove that you are a better person than who you once were.
Well, this wasn't exactly an easy journey for one boy named Shöya Ishida. Shöya was quite the character back in the day, constantly aiming to do the most dangerous and outlandish of stunts to make him and his friends more entertained in their boring life.
That is until one day everything changed. The day his class would gain another student, and her name was Shoko Nishimiya, an adorable deaf girl who wants nothing more than to make friends.
But this school was not exactly very cash money, as it were, as Shöya and his friends constantly harassed, bullied, and actively destroyed her expensive hearing aids. And as bullying often does, it eventually goes too far.
This little stunt changed everything for Shöya. His teachers, his classmates, everyone turned against him specifically, and made sure he knew it. Shöya was the only one punished for bullying Shoko and breaking her hearing aids, causing the little money his family already had to sink into even further debt.
And that wasn't even the worst of it. All of Shöya's friends had started bullying him as well as Shoko, at least until she was forced to leave the school, leaving him as the easy target. After all, what kind of person bullies a deaf girl? What kind of monster would do such a thing? How could you even live with yourself?
These questions plagued Shöya's mind, making him feel like he should just end it all. Years would pass, and the feeling never truly stopped. Shöya began to shut out the voices of the outside world, unable to look anyone in the eye. He planned his death all out perfectly. He would sell everything he owns, give it all back to his mom, and jump off the highest bridge. His biggest stunt.
Oh, but that is until one thing came back into his mind. He needed to make amends. Make amends with the person he most hurt. Make amends to Shoko. One day he tracked her down, showed her that he learned sign language in case they met again, and even asked if he and her would be friends.
Quite outlandish, but it actually may have worked. They meet over the next few weeks as Shöya tries to prove himself worthy of her friendship. And it's here where we see Shöya's most important tool to keep in his arsenal. Bread. No! Fucko down! This is where the koi fish. Shöya and Shoko would meet and feed them there.
Oh, that's nice. As Shöya and Shoko continued to meet, Shöya felt himself becoming better. Not doing this to appease himself, but to just be a decent guy for once.
He even started making friends outside of Shoko, like her younger sister Yuzuru and his classmate Tomohiro. These two really solidified how he was trying to be more open and a better person outside of validation from Shoko.
But making friends himself wasn't easy. He had to try and bring Shoko back with her best friend from school, Miyoko. As he saw them bond and connect instantly, Shöya wondered why he couldn't do the same.
Is it because of what he did in the past? Because of who he is now? How he can't even look people in the eye? Or trust what he hears about him?
These questions once again plagued Shöya's mind, but instead of a negative outlet like taking his own life, he dedicated to learning more about Shoko, something she clearly appreciated, and even grew so passionate that she tried to say,
The moon?
well, let's just leave it at there was still a language barrier, to say the least.
But enough of that cute bonding. Let's get into the feats.
Oh, but of course, Max. We here at Not a Multiverse Match only have the finest of researchers on the job. So let's take a look at what they've got. Shöya can effortlessly tank slaps and punches, fight Shoko as a child, and even survive falls from great heights. There, that's a hint for later. Let's just say, it's impossible to discipline this guy.
But even throughout all of this, nothing would halt their friendship even a little, even throughout some of the worst periods of their lives, encountering their past with Miki and Naoka. But while Shöya found himself feeling bad about his past actions coming back to haunt him, Shoko had it far worse.
I don't hate you. I hate myself.
Oh, but Shöya would put in a new effort beyond trying to be her friend. He would try and make her not want to hate herself, through compliments and through hanging out with her, any means necessary, to what would be, sadly, no avail.
This marks an incredibly tragic point in the story, as Shoko tries to take her own life because of how she wanted to attempt on when she was finally happy. The very same fireworks that pushed Shöya away from suicide, now being the indicator of what Shoko would try and do.
Oh, but Shöya wouldn't let that happen. He can't let that happen. He runs and pulls as hard as he can to try and save Shoko, as he failed before in the past, thinking about his entire life and how he never truly apologized about what he had done, or knew what Shoko really thought of him. And as Shoko climbed to safety, Shöya maybe never would have known.
Shöya was knocked unconscious and was hospitalized for days, falling an entire 13 stories high. It had been devastating to everyone involved in his life, even those he pushed away.
But while Shöya may have been gone, Shoko would try her hardest to keep what was left of his life intact. Bringing his friends back together, finishing the movie they had been working on, anything to make things right, as Shöya would have done the same for her.
And as Shöya finally woke up, he knew he had to see Shoko again, as they both ran to the same place, two souls intertwined, as they cry and apologize to each other, promising one thing, that they will teach each other that they together can learn how to live.
And it's here where the story between the movie and the manga diverge. The film shows Shöya finally accepting that he doesn't have to let his past define who he is, as long as he can accept that he's a good person now, someone worthy of love and compassion from those he cares about the most.
While in the manga, we see a time skip of essentially the same theme coming to a close, but with a twist that Shoko and Shöya both wish to live in Tokyo together, being hairdressers like his mother. Walking up to a door and seeing that they can move on to their new lives together, still nervous, but moving on to a brighter future regardless, together, hand in hand.
And what happens after that? Who knows for sure, but I'm willing to bet that together, Shöya and Shoko can face down anything in their path. While they may have started off as the bully and his victim, they've grown more than anyone could have thought possible, proving that your past doesn't define you, and that anyone can change, as long as you learn how to live.
Shoko, I need some help from you. I was hoping that maybe you could teach me how to live.
So stop me if you've heard this one before, but what does it truly mean to change? To legitimately prove that you are a better person than who you once were?
Well, statement doesn't really work for this. Meet Evan Hansen, a bit of a weird kid, but nothing too interesting. He's got his mom, a friend, and even a crush who he's talked to, sorta.
That is until one fateful day that he talked to another typical weird kid, Connor Murphy. From their little interaction, Connor decided that he and Evan were alike, so he signed Evan's cast and helped him with his papers. That is, at least until he noticed one of them had very notably mentioned his sister, who was also Evan's crush. Yeah.
This had been found out by Connor. He, rightfully, took the papers away and brought it home. This leads Evan's mind to race. Is his secret out? Can he ever show his face at school again? Is his life ruined? Well, the next day, all of his worries would go away, as he would find out Connor had taken his own life.
It's here where the story really begins. You see, those papers Evan had made were originally messages that he wrote to himself as a form of therapy, and had written sincerely me. So as Connor's parents read these letters, they presumed that Evan and Connor were friends, and instead of correcting them, Evan just went with it.
An incredibly selfish move that was especially not helped by the fact he was still trying to get with Connor's sister, who was, grieving the loss of her brother or something.
Sorry.
Anyways, after all of that, Evan kept this ruse up by making more letters between him and Connor that try to consult his family of his passing when they never truly had the chance to know him. Still, horrible, but at least beneficial in some capacity.
And shockingly, that's not even the last of what he was doing as a decent person. In Connor's memory, they would start up a cause that would bring attention to the school and internet, making an actual movement that people to support the loss that the Murphys had faced.
As he would earn more care from Connor's family and subsequently his sister, he would ignore the cause and seek out nothing but popularity and attention. The only thing stopping this being that someone would finally find out that he's just a horrible person.
Oh, so in an act of being a person with a basic morality, he admits that he had been lying and, let's see here. That's it. No consequences other than the Murphys getting judged because of what their son had done.
That's quite the feat of douchebaggery. Speaking of that, does he, have any feats?
Oh, well, yes, Max. He has survived a fall that broke his arm, and, wait. There's nothing. Wait. To a minor extent, he has Broadway force. This allows him to, sing instead of speak. And sometimes people can't even hear him. It's a little inconsistent, yeah.
Blah blah blah. Other stuff happens with characters with actual depth, and Evan learns that he shouldn't have capitalized off the suicide of someone he doesn't know. Yep. Hey, it's me, Max!
We could have watched the Stretch Royale over this.
It is worth mentioning how, despite everything Evan had done to this poor family, Connor seemed to have an actual genuine care and love for his family based on the novel, despite his self-destructive tendencies and mental health issues. So while everything was a lie, there was a semblance of truth that Evan brought out.
So despite doing the wrong things, very, very, very wrong things, Evan brought this family closer after the tragedy that they had endured. And maybe, just maybe, in the future, Evan can seek forgiveness and keep going, as he can try and become better.
So no matter how hard it gets, even if it feels impossible, this time you'll know. Don't let go. Just hold on and keep going. Just keep going.
Will Shöya redeem and prove himself worthy of being Evan's superior?
Or will Evan Hansen prove it's not because he's gay? Would Evan prove that he can win? Yeah, sure. Oh man, I hope Shoko really likes this. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Shöya. Shöya Ishida.
Hey, listen here. I'm going through a lot right now, so why don't you leave?
Oh, okay.
Good. Now let me just walk into the street. I sure have nothing bad happen to good old Evan Hansen.
Can't wait to see what Shoko thinks about this.
This was actually a not close match.
Oh, but that's wrong, Max. Evan and Shöya were actually quite even in everything if you ignore almost every advantage goes in Shoya's favor.
Shöya has the advantages of actually being in fights before, actually taking hits and giving it back, surviving falls from heights far greater than anything Evan has done. You get the idea.
Evan maybe could win if he broke out his Broadway force. If only it did anything. But chances are his karma would catch up to him and hit him with a bus. Literally.
Fundamentally, this also came down to a battle of morals and who actually shows improvement as a person.
That's actually right, Max. Shöya changes a person out of an original selfish feeling of trying to feel better like Evan, but grew out of it and tried to change and live life with Shoko, showing her and himself why it's worth living together. While Evan, he just sucks, man. He just fucking sucks. He used a grieving family for attention, then he did nothing to redeem himself. I hate him. Oh yeah, Shoko forever.
Oh, but we can go even further beyond that, can we?
That's right, Max. Let's compare some freaky feats for a second of comparable stats. You'll see while both were injured from falls, Evans would only get a few measly 100 duels, while Shöya's 13-story fall could result in around 25.8 kilojoules. That's right, superhuman level as silent voice. You're welcome. Don't actually check our math, we're right, you're wrong. This would actually put Shöya a total of 14 quadrillion times stronger than Evan. Sorry.
While Evan was something for sure, Shöya was just a stronger, smarter, more experienced, and greater person compared to the likes of Evan Hansen.
Making today's not-multiverse matches loser, Evan Hansen.
All I really want is just a little respect. And this is the thanks I get. So this is mine. And this is the thanks mine. And this is the thanks mine. So it's mine. Oh, that's the least you could say.